wanted to talk to you today about motivation. Sometimes people tell me that they just don't feel motivated, they've lost motivation for something, or if they can only be more motivated to do certain things.
Welcome to the Productive Introvert Community Podcast, helping ambitious introverts who feel deep down that they can add more value to the world to really thrive in their work. I'm Mariela Franker, and I'll be sharing what I'm learning as an introverted entrepreneur, a natural productivity coach, and a mom while I build my business online and take care of my family and myself. In this podcast, you'll learn the mindset and the practical steps to naturally increase the impact of your work while making space for your unique strengths as an introvert.
I work with a lot of introverted solopreneurs. Sometimes people tell me that they just don't feel motivated, they've lost motivation for something, or if they can only be more motivated to do certain things. I think that comes up a lot is feeling more motivated to do certain things in your business and feeling not particularly motivated to do other things. For example, spending hours on a new website, but not sending out messages because you don't want to feel pushy, or never looking at your expenses, or just leaving your tax return to the very last seconds. And it makes them feel deflated, you know? So if you're in a similar situation, I want you to know that you are not alone. Okay. Every single person that I've worked with has felt that lack of motivation to do certain things, even things that they know are really important for their business. And I have too, especially when you're a solopreneur, right? You don't have a team or you don't have a team yet. Um, you're doing all the things, you're doing everything in your business, you have all the roles. Um, you're also the one making all the decisions, and there's no one there that you're really accountable to. There's no one there to say, hey, this needs to get done today. There's no one there to help you decide what's the next important thing to take off your list. There's no one there to help you decide what do I focus on a day-to-day basis. There is great freedom in that. And probably one of the reasons why you're an entrepreneur in the first place is to have that sense of freedom and to be able to make those decisions for yourself. But it can become a problem when you constantly find yourself working on things that don't actually impact your business. Those tasks that kind of keep us busy, but they don't actually bring in revenue, or they don't create new opportunities for you to grow your business. When the most important things never seem to get done, or when you're always putting out fires left and right, or just keeping yourself busy with, I don't know, checking email and things like that, to the place where you never have time to actually think about what you really want for your business or for your life. So, what can you do? The first thing that I notice that I want to spend a few minutes on is that often people confuse motivation and discipline. When they talk about motivation, they often talk about doing a specific thing. Let's take, for example, doing your tax return. I lack motivation to do it. I don't like doing my taxes, so I tend to put it off. Well, that's not really about motivation, is it? That's about doing a certain task. And what I think that they really mean is that they feel they're not disciplined enough to actually do the thing. Motivation, that speaks to why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want what you want? So, in this example of the tax return, when it comes to motivation, the question is, why do you want your tax return done? So this could be anything from, I can get some money back if I do my tax return, to, paying taxes it shows that I have a healthy business, or I'd rather not, but it's the law and I get a fine if I don't. Those type of reasons Those speak to why it might be important or not important to you to do the thing. The power of motivation is it's the thing that can keep you going when things get tough, especially when you have a why that's bigger than just yourself. Your why is, in a way, what keeps you accountable to do the things that you do. Now, motivation, it will change over time. We always start with high motivation when we start a new project. It's exciting. We have all these great ideas, and we have this really like romanticized view of what this thing that we're excited about, what it can bring us or what it can bring the world. So motivation is high when you start, right? And then you get into the daily grind of things. And motivation always goes down. We lose that initial spark that kind of gives us that boost to start going. And a lot of the time, that's when people start holding on to discipline. Oh, I need to get through this thing. And the word discipline implies a sense of force, like you have to force yourself to do the thing. And I think that's what's going on when when people start talking about, oh, I wish I had more motivation to do, whatever it is that I do. And in reality, a lot of the time they're not really talking about motivation. They're talking about the feeling that they are not disciplined enough to do the smaller things that need to get done to get through that daily grind to get to an end result. And one of the reasons why people confuse these two things is that they often don't take the time to actually think about what motivates them. They don't actually take the time to really think about what actually motivates them. Like, what drives you? What are your internal drivers for wanting a certain thing? And a simple but very effective exercise to gain a little bit of insight into your motivation that I like is the 5 why exercise. I have no idea who came up with this exercise. I couldn't find any credits to it. It's been around for a long time, and you can use it to unpack pretty much any question that you have. Let's say that you're working in-house right now, but you really want to start something for yourself and become an entrepreneur. Some days you feel motivated to take the plunge, but some days you don't. And you're wondering, is there something wrong with my motivation? Is this something that I really want? So personally, I don't think there can ever really be anything wrong with your motivation. Motivation is what it is. The question is, what motivates you? What is it that motivates you to do something? And is that enough for you to take on the challenges that it will bring? And you can use the 5 why exercise to bring that to the surface a little bit. And how it works is that you simply ask why 5 times about the same topic. So let's use this example of this person who's thinking of becoming an entrepreneur. So you ask why? Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Well, because I want to be my own boss. Okay, so why do you want to be your own boss? Well, I don't want anyone to tell me what to do. I want the freedom to decide what I do. Okay, so why do you want the freedom to decide what you do? Maybe it has to do with the freedom to decide when I work or who I work with. Why do you want the freedom to decide when to work and who you work with? Well, because I want to be able to decide when I work because I want the freedom to be with my family when I want, to take a day off when I want. And I want to work with people that I really enjoy working with. Now, why? Why is that important to you? Why do you want to spend time with your family? Now it starts sounding like, oh, that's a ridiculous question. But ask yourself that question. Why? Why is it important to you to spend time with your family? Why is it important to you to work with people that you enjoy working with? And you may come up with something like, because I want to be there to see my kids grow up. I want to be there to spend quality time with my spouse without working all the time. I want to work with people that I enjoy working with because it feels good to have that connection with someone. It feels good to have a relationship where I can have a positive impact. So we just asked why 5 times, and you can see that the last answers are very different from the first answers that came up. This is just a random example that I made up. But it's similar to an exercise that I did when I first started my coaching business. And in this example, the themes that are coming up are around connection, connecting with family, spouse, kids, clients, and about contribution, quality time, having positive impact on people's lives. So, like I said, I don't think there can ever really be anything wrong with your motivation. It's just about what motivates you. And you can go as deep as you want with this. This exercise of asking why 5 times is just a suggestion. You can ask it as many times as you need to until you find the words that really ring true for you. But it is, in my opinion, important to ask this question, especially when you're a solopreneur, solo entrepreneur. Because when you know what motivates you, then it's just a question of which actions align with that. And it makes it much easier to make choices in your daily life around, am I going to take this call with this potential client? Is this someone that I think I can actually give a contribution to or have a connection with that would be fulfilling to me? Or will I say yes to this networking event that is scheduled at the same time as my kids' basketball game? Like, what will I get out of that networking event that aligns with my deeper why versus skipping my kids' basketball game this time? There's no right or wrong answer here. It's all about what feels right to you in this moment in time. And I really do believe that you always make the right decision for you right now, given what you know and what you have. So if you've ever felt like you are unmotivated, or maybe you're hesitant to make a change, doubting if it's the right move for you, thinking about what motivates you to do that thing can really give you a lot of insight into if it's the right choice for you. Some of the clients that I work with are looking to make a change in their life or in their career, but they're unsure if it's the right move for them. And in my one-to-one coaching programs, we go really deep into what drives this person and what their unique process is that they naturally go through that makes them effortlessly brilliant. And when you can bring those two things together, that's magical. So I share at the end of basically every episode how you can get in touch with me if you have questions around the topics that we talk about here. So if you want support to take the next step, either in your career or in your life, then get in touch with me. I'll leave a link in the description for a free, no strings attached call to talk about your questions and if there's a way that I can support you in that. Thank you for hanging out with me again today, and let's talk again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Productive Introvert Community Podcast. If you're an introverted entrepreneur and you're ready to thrive in your own way, then connect with me on thefrankermessage.com/contact.